Monday, May 9, 1892. The New York Times. Thousands at the pool, watching the hunt for Mary Wertheimer's dead child. The police believe that the body has been re-hidden. Mother, lover, and accomplice in court. The two men quarrel. The banks of the Black Pool over in Greenpoint, wherein the 3-month-old baby of Mary Wertheimer was thrown by the woman's lover, Peter Schultz, on Monday night, May 2, were lined all day yesterday by a crowd of curious persons who had traveled far to feast their morbid curiosity. The pool, which is within 100 yards of Newtown Creek, is situated in the most desolate part of Brooklyn. It is in that portion of Greenpoint known as the Meadows, which has been filled in within the past 5 years by the sewerage dumpings of the town. The story of the child murder was told in yesterday's Times. Mary Wertheimer, a girl who, since her 13th year, has been associating with criminals, became the mother 3 months ago of a boy. Shortly after the birth of the child, she went to live with Peter Schultz, a professional thief. Adam Haas, another thief, took up his residence with the couple at 14 Bremen Street, where they moved on Monday night last. On that night, Mary Wertheimer, who had found her baby an encumbrance, expressed a desire to be rid of it. Schultz, according to the confession which he made when he was arrested, volunteered to take the child to an asylum. According to that same confession, he took the child to the Meadows in the Eastern District of Brooklyn and threw it in the pond. The crowd that surrounded the Black Pool yesterday was not a reverent assemblage. Detective Hall, who was in charge of the men who had been digging for the body all Friday night, was so thoroughly worn out that he could scarcely keep the indecently curious mob from throwing up afresh the ground wherein the police had dug in search of the infant. By noon the crowd was to be numbered only by the thousands. The police had ceased their work, as they believed that Schultz had removed the child's body after throwing it into the sewer, but the crowd lingered around the noisome pond all day, evidently expecting that someone of the hundreds of small boys who were wading waist-deep in the pond would make a discovery. The lemonade man came around at 2:30 and remained until darkness dispersed the crowd. Captain Brown of the 6th Precinct was of the opinion from early yesterday morning that Schultz's confession had not included the fact that the infant's body had been removed from its crude burial place on Tuesday night, when the child murderer had become stricken with the consciousness of his guilt. So the dragging of the pond was discontinued yesterday, after every inch of the shallow pool had been carefully searched, and all the holes had been explored on the banks of the pond wherein Schultz said he had lain the infant until it began to cry so loud that he feared the noise would awaken the neighbors. The extraordinary precautions of Schultz may be fancied when it is stated that the pool wherein the body was thrown is at least 300 yards from any habitation. Schultz, Adam Haas, his accomplice, and Mary Wertheimer were taken from the 6th Street station house at 8:30 yesterday morning. The woman was remarkably cool, but the men, both of whom evidently regretted their confessions of Saturday, were morose in the extreme. When the van pulled up before the Lee Avenue Court Jail, from which the regular Sunday crowd was to be taken to the Raymond Street Jail, both men looked desperate. On account of the coroner's lack of information, neither was arraigned, but while they were standing in the pen, a Times reporter asked them what their plea would be. "You took the stiff away from the pond," said Haas, in accusation of Schultz. "You're a liar," replied Schultz with an oath, springing at Haas's throat. A man who was registered as a drunk separated the two. While he was doing so, however, the mother of the dead child yelled out repeatedly, Kill him, Pete. Kill him.